Well, it's pool season here in the Southwest, folks, and that means it's time to make sure your pool is in top condition. If you have an in-ground cleaning system made by Paramount or Paddock, congratulations. You have the best automatic pool cleaning system there is. But this convenience and performance comes at a cost. This system is a bit complex, and there are a few parts you need to check periodically to make sure the pool is cleaning properly. If you have a regular pool guy, you're not off the hook. Pool maintenance techs do not always know these systems that well. They are also focused on getting in and out of your backyard as quickly as possible. So it's still up to you to know something about your cleaning system so you can tip them off to a potential issue, or at least insist that they inspect it thoroughly a few times a year. So today I'm going to show you how to check and fix a problem with the water valves that are so critical to this system. Let's get started. The system has a dedicated pump, but it has these three valves. I call them sequencers, but they're made by Paramount. I call them water valves. And these three valves control which pop-ups get pressure. Let's turn the system on. Because of the dedicated pump, I have a dedicated switch. And up come the pop-ups. You can see one right there is up. There's a couple over there. They're all in the same circuit. What these water valves do is distribute the water pressure to each pop-up in a sequence. Why don't we send the water to all the pop-ups at once? This would reduce the pressure to the point that the pop-ups would not work. So the valves send water pressure to each port on the valve one at a time to keep the jet pressure at the pop-ups high enough to clean the pool floor. Each jet is designed to shoot a powerful stream of water across the bottom of the pool in a certain direction. This sweeps dirt off the bottom and keeps it suspended in the water until it can get filtered out by the filter system. Paddock had a computer program that the pool designer would use which determined the best placement of each pop-up for a given pool shape. That's why the PCC 2000 system is the best on the market. Now, for a while, I've suspected my pop-ups have not been working quite right. And I base that on they haven't been popping up all the way. The pool's been clean enough, but I know that these water valves do fail, and I think it's time to take a look. You need to look at each of these pressure gauges to figure out if the valves are working correctly. My gauges were so old that you could not even read the pressure, so I've replaced them, and these are brand new gauges. This is critical to diagnosing your water valves. And what I found is a problem. And what I'm going to show you right now is this one in the middle has three pipes coming out of it. What does that mean? That means one is always input, the other two are output. Where do they output? Well, one outputs to this valve, and the other outputs to that. So it distributes pressure between these two valves, which flow directly to the pop-ups. And they all have 6 pipes on them. This only has 3. So this is supposed to provide pressure half time to this one, and the other half of the time to this one. So check this out. There's pressure on that valve, and there's some pressure on that valve. That's wrong. One should be off and one should be on. They're both on. This one looks fine, but this is the distributing valve. So I know I've got a problem with this because it's not providing pressure to both, which it should not do. Let's take it apart and have a look. Okay, first I'm going to take this middle valve out. This is the one we suspect should relieve the pressure. I'll lift the top off of this. And here's the suspect valve. And here's how you know it's a 2 valve. First of all, you look at the ports. There's an inlet and 2 outlets. What they do is, it looks like a 6-port when you look at it. They tie 3 together here and 3 together here. So that means that any water coming in this inlet will go half the time to these 3 and the other half time to these 3. And that means all 3 on this side will go through that port, and all 3 on this side will go through that port, out and out and in. So these tie 3 ports together to turn a 6-port into a 2-port. Now, look at the bottom of this thing. These open up independently as the water runs this impeller. See this impeller here? It turns this these gears, which in turn open each one of these valves successively. Now, if I turn this to the side, you'll see this one is open. It should never be open. When there's no pressure on these valves, they should be completely shut, but this one isn't. So what does that mean? It means that no matter which valve is open here, there's always water flowing here, which decreases the pressure to any one of the open valves. This is a problem. This should never happen, and there's no way to fix it. It means the spring inside is fatigued, and this whole thing has to get replaced. I know of no way to fix this. You can also pull on the others and make sure they snap back. And these mostly do, but that one is definitely a problem. Just one bad, the whole thing has to get thrown out. So let's go put a new one in. You're gonna spend about 200 bucks. If you get one cheaper than that, grab it. But especially the 2-port version, they're very rare, hard to find, and it's one of the drawbacks of this system is it's very expensive to replace these water valves. I'm going to take the old gasket off, put a new gasket in. You can put Teflon paste on these. I'm going to not do that and see if it seals. If it doesn't, I'll take it off and seal it. Usually they seal okay. But here's the brand new valve. And you'll see none of these are sticking up. They're very tight. You can barely pull up on these. So that's what a brand new valve should look like. Now, how does this get placed? Well, we know that these 3 are one outlet, these 3 are another outlet. So I have to orient this so that one of these is facing here and one here. It doesn't matter which, actually. And that's it. Now let's put the top back on and see what happens. This, by the way, is a very important thing to do. These protect this sharp thread from cutting into your ankles when you walk past these things. It's just a rubber thread protector I bought, found it online, but do that. Your shins will thank you. All right, let's close the all pressure. This thing's going to have to prime, but let's see what happens. Here's what I expect. Once we get up to pressure, only one of these valves will show pressure at any one time. This one will show valve pressure at all times. Here we go. We're getting pressure on this valve. There we go. You see pressure on this one, but not on this one. Pressure on this one full time. So this one is now correctly distributing pressure between this one, and this one. Only one is on at a time. Let's keep watching it and watch when this flips to that one. Here we go. That one's now powered, and that one's going to 0. See how that worked? This one's now got pressure, that one doesn't. This one's full-time pressure. So I just fixed a problem. My pool was not cleaning well. It is now cleaning much more efficiently with this old valve replaced. I'll leave links below where you can buy those valves if you have this type of cleaning system. These pop-ups are now up on the stairs, so much easier to see that they're working. I don't think they were working very well in the past. Each time these pop-ups come up, they turn a tiny bit before they fall back down. That way they do 360 degrees over several hours. So if you see it pointing the flow in one direction, don't be worried. It's gonna change direction. It just has to pop up again. So there you have it. If you have this kind of a cleaning system, this is the Paramount water valve I use, water module, not cheap. It's an 0430244000, 2-port 4-gear module, and that's what I replaced here, which is critical to making sure that these both work. Hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching.